Eddie Hearn just announced the fight for Anthony Crolla against Perez, world title. First of all, though, where were you when the announce broke about the burglary? And
I was in Las Vegas. It was the day after the Khan Alexander fight, and I was just about to leave for the airport, and I got a text from Joe Gallagher saying Crolla's been attacked by burglars. He's got a fractured skull and a broken ankle. My first reaction was, is he okay? Is he going to survive? When you get that text, you think his career is automatically over. But you know, the resolve that he's shown to come back from that has been phenomenal. And you know, it was a big decision to bring Abril here in the first place, and it was an even bigger one to bring Perez. But I wanted to do it for Anthony because he deserves it, and I think he can become world champion. So it's going to be a great night on July the 18th. Huge card, and really exciting.
Definitely, it got quite emotional up there. Were you surprised by that?
I surprised myself. I was excited about the announcement, but I started talking and sort of felt the throat go a little bit. And obviously, when we passed over to Anthony, he was quite close to breaking down in tears. So I think sometimes, in life and in boxing, you just sort of bury your head in the sand and just work, and you don't really look back at the journey and what's happened. And when you look back at what's happened, and Anthony's the kind of guy that he'll always have a smile on his face, but perhaps behind closed doors it's been tougher for him than maybe it's appeared, and I think that showed today. So I'm delighted for him. He gets a chance to become world champion, and it'll be an incredible night on July the 18th.
And sometimes social media has its down points, but it wasn't just Anthony, but we had the incident with Kell Brook not long after he won the world title, and it's good to see fans, not just of boxing, but just fans in general, show their support via social media.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had Anthony Joshua had a stress fracture in his back, and it's affected a lot of our shows. We've had a lot of stick for the early part of this year because a lot of fights that have been planned have fallen through, and that's the disappointing side of boxing, and nothing will ever change. But now we're on a period where we've got James DeGale fighting for the world title in Boston next week. You've got Amir Khan against Chris Algieri. You've got our huge show on May the 30th. Kell Brook against Gavin, Mitchell against Linares, Selby against Gradovic, Joshua against Johnson. You've got a big show in Liverpool to be announced on Friday. Then you've got this show on July the 18th, 2 world title fights, 2 British title fights. It's a massive show, and Anthony Joshua on that as well. So, it's just about phases. I think we've come through a bit of a tough phase, and we've got some unbelievable events planned for the next couple of months.
So different. You mentioned on this show, and you had a press conference yesterday, Scott Quigg is also in action. What can we expect from Scott Quigg? It's a great fight. I mean, he wanted to fight one of the best super bantamweights in the world, and Kiko's already proved he is that. It's a great clash of styles. 2 guys who love to come forward, throw a lot of punches, put the pressure on. It's a tough fight for Scott Quigg. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media. Shane McGuigan said that Quigg will get knocked out in that fight, so that's why it's called high stakes. If he loses that, then him and Frampton lose millions of pounds. So that's what you want. He needs a test, Scott Quigg, and that's the perfect fight for him. Definitely. And I've spoken to Joe Gallagher today. I've spoken to Jamie Moore. 2 different stories. Joe doesn't seem to think the Carl Frampton fight will ever happen. Jamie's a bit more positive.
I do think it'll happen, but they need to realise where the money's coming from, which is from our broadcaster. And we've been there. We've had this discussion, but I answer every question that's ever asked of me about that situation. They never answer any questions. His official manager wouldn't even come to the meeting. So that's how serious they are about it. And now they seem to be willing, Kiko Martinez, to beat Scott Quigg, which I just don't understand. Surely you should be desperate to try and, for Scott to come through. So maybe they don't want to fight, but it's a lot of money, and hopefully it gets made at the end of the year.
Definitely. And someone that it seems like the end of the road is coming to an end is Carl Froch. What's the latest on that? Is that
nothing really? Same as before. No fight scheduled. Trying to find a fight that gets him excited. Maybe no fight will get him excited. So it might be time to close the chapter on that one. And I'd rather he retired than got retired. It'd be nice to hang his gloves up, thinking I had a great career, and there's not many that can do that.
And that night at Wembley will be like a kind of good way to bow
out. There was 80,000 people there that night. So,
as he told Floyd
Mayweather.
He
told a few people. He reminded me the other day. But, it was a great way to bow out.
No, definitely. And someone that's going to fight someone that beat Carl Froch, Andre Ward, is Paul Smith. How do you see that going?
Tough fight, obviously. Ward's coming back from nearly a couple of years out. Paul's coming off the back of 2 good performances. Massive underdog in the fight. Can bang. He's confident. How rusty's Andre Ward? We'll find out. Very, very tough fight for him. But he's earned the shot. It's a huge payday for him, and good luck to him.
And we mentioned social media earlier. Two people that, Charlotte Church and Katie Hopkins, potential boxing match there. If you believe social media, who do you think will win that one? And would that be something you'd be keen to promote?
No, definitely not. I don't think it's something that should be discussed by boxing fans.
Thank you so much.
Right, mate. No worries.